Today I want us to think about aesthetics, and there are many aesthetic theories. I just want to concentrate on these 6. Aesthetics is how you value art, the thinking and judgments that you make about art. How does one decide whether an artwork is valuable or not? These different ways, if we learn about these, then you can decide for yourself how you value art and make your own theory. Formism is form follows function. An artwork should work. It should be true to its use. It should be normal, and it should represent its culture. A well-built, solid table would be appreciated, but a table that has fake wood on the top would not be, because that's not normal to them. I can't show you art history probably because of the copyright laws, so I got a few of my things out. I made these except for the vase with the handle that has brushes in it. But I got that out because the vase has a handle, and that makes it easier to be used. The boxes are true to my culture because we have a lot of quilt making around here, and some of these are kind of quilt patterns. The vase would be useful. It would hold water. You could put flowers in it. So that would be Formism. Formism probably would not have liked Oppenheimer's fur-lined teacup, because you couldn't use a teacup if it was lined with animal fur. Next, I want us to talk about hedonism. Hedonism is pleasure is good, pain is bad. Pictures that show happy things like parties and animals and just things that make you happy or remind you of happy times. But things that make you sad or angry would not be liked by hedonism people. Picasso's Guernica would be one example that they would hate because that was his protest against war. They would not like Kathy Kolowitz's work because most of it showed poverty and a lady holding her dead child from a war. So things like that, they would not even consider it as art. Again, I'll show you some of my things. Maybe you would remember a happy day at the beach with this box. It has pictures all around. Birds singing make people happy. Maybe you like to fish, so that might be something that you would enjoy. And if you enjoyed picking blueberries, that might be a picture that you would like. The third one that we'll look at is Classicism. Classicism enjoyed the classic Greek and Roman art. Maybe a Greek vase with its handles on both sides, or paintings such as Jacques-Louis David did of Roman soldiers going into battle. That would be good for them. But I don't have any of that type, so we will move on to Organicism. Organicism, people who liked that type of art or that theory, they all wanted their work to be integrated and to have unity. And so I saved this picture out that was a collage that I did because one of the things that helps your artwork to have unity is to have overlapping and also to have lines in the background. And so that might be something that they would have liked. Also, this animal picture has lines in the background that go through things, and so they might like it, but then again they might not like it because this snake started out as a piece of wood and then turned into a snake, and they don't like if you are trying to fool them about something. This one is a collage also, and they thought that feelings were important, and for Christians, the words that relate to our King, the Lion of Judah, King of Kings, Everlasting Father, Provider, Comforter, all of those words are in this collage. But then one that they would not like probably would be this giraffe collage, because they would say, well, that's not the color of a real giraffe. You're trying to fool me into thinking that. So they probably would not like that. They would not like commercial art because it's made to sell and not to be realistic or useful. Insincere art that fools you, things that are not whole. I loved this Cherokee Indian wedding vase. I collect wedding vases, and I took it to school one day and I broke it. So I'm saving some of the pieces to hopefully put it together one day. But they would not think this is art anymore because it's not a whole. And then this has enough lines in the background that connect things together, so it would be unified. The color helps to unify it, the same as this paint pouring picture. I think the color and the lines help to unify that one. They would not like this one that I added to my painting of my grandmother's house. I added all these pink flamingos, and she would have hated to have had those in her yard. They say that some art is ugly, and even invincibly ugly. And something like this would be invincibly ugly to them because it has commercial art everywhere in the yard, messing up the whole picture. Romanticism is art that shows strong emotions, and that would be liked by this particular group. Kathy Kolowitz's poverty pictures, the women holding their dead children from a war, Picasso's Guernica, they would like that. Even though it's sad, it has strong emotions. And then maybe a simple painting of just an apple, they might not care for it as much. Van Gogh has emotions in his work. I did this one of my grandmother's Bible, and she had used it so much that it was tearing apart. That brings emotions to me. I did several paintings for my son, who's a chiropractor, and sell those to various chiropractors, different places. I did this totem pole of my grandchildren and what each animal they thought they would like to be, and beside it, it tells the characteristics, and I was amazed that the characteristics often fit the child. This is one in a series that I did of spirit people. It has my two grandsons playing with their toys, and then grandfather playing with his toys, the golf club, great-grandfather that was a Hall of Fame baseball player, and then the grandfather that's still living that likes to fish. So that one brings emotions to me. And then I helped to cook at a homeless shelter, and this was a man. I asked him to hold this plate of coffee so that it would go with a devotion I was doing for them on I'm drinking from my saucer because my cup has overflowed. And then, of course, I'm a Christian. I did this collage that has the scripture on it. Contextualists enjoyed art that was problematic, something in the artwork that had to be figured out. This is an artwork that I did, and you would think that it's a painting, but it's not. It's made of cloth glued on. When I went to Canada, I saw a very nice artist who did all of her art this way, and I wanted to try it. So that's kind of problematic, figuring out how'd they do that. And then this one, why are the birds making a nest in a pocket instead of in a tree where they usually do? Well, this is a South Carolina wren, and they often find unusual places to build their nest. And it also has the yellow jasmine going through it, and the lines connect things together so that it will have unity. And then M.C. Escher, I can't show you his work, but I enjoy his work so much that I did this painting that was had a tessellation in it, and people might look at it and say, wow, that looks like a puzzle pieces put together. And what about this piece right here? It looks like it's cracking. What's that made out of? And so contextualists would enjoy that type of art. They would like Renee Magritte's work, The Human Condition, because one of her paintings shows three men looking at the sky, but it has three moons in the sky. Why were there three moons? And then another man that has a big green apple floating on top of his face. So they would like that. And they would like M.C. Escher's tessellations. They also like puzzles. And this is a puzzle that you might ask someone to try. Make a puzzle using numbers from 1 to 9 in 3 rows of 3. And all of the rows in every direction have to add up to 15. So they would like that type of thing also. Now, when you look at a piece of artwork, think, how do I value art? What is important to me?